All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Hey, this is Mike here in the Raleigh office with Tidewater. I hope you're doing great. Hey, folks, as you know, we really like to have special guests on our podcast that are doing special things in this industry. And today I'm really happy to have a very special guest on this podcast, somebody that has been bringing value to insurance brokers and agency owners all across the country for, I believe, he's probably going to correct me on this, but over 20 years. Him and his wife have built an incredible business. He's a good friend of mine. He is somebody that every time I go to one of his meetings, I learn something, which is really cool because I've been to a lot of his meetings. But without further ado, some of you may know his beautiful face and his beautiful smile because you're accustomed to seeing him everywhere. Some of you, this might be your first time experiencing this gentleman. And let me tell you something, tune in because this guy is bringing the heat today. So, without further ado, I'm about to bring somebody on my screen. His name is Ronnie James.
Wow, very, very kind. I always think that anytime I speak, it's deep thoughts from a shallow mind. But
Oh, man.
I love this industry, and it has been very kind to me. And I've actually been licensed in this industry now for almost 25 years. So it has been a long time, but it's been a very enjoyable ride. I tell agents the thing I love about this industry is it truly is the great equalizer.
Yeah.
It's all about what you're willing to put into it. So regardless of whether you have a degree, whether you just have a diploma, whatever it may be, if you have a good work ethic and you can create relationships, you can be very successful in this industry.
I love it. I love it, man. Ronnie, I remember one of the first events I ever went to of yours. You were telling your story about growing up in China Grove in a small town. And I talk about this a lot, the 8 Mile strategy, like make fun of yourself, right? And you were making fun of yourself. You're like, I'm from this small podunk town that nobody lives in. And here you are out here killing it. And
I am.
I was like,
I always say I love China Grove. This is my town, but
yeah,
it is one of those things where small town USA. The best part about living in a small town is everybody knows everybody.
yeah,
The
man.
worst part about living in a small town is everybody knows everybody. So it can be a two-edged sword, but as you work, you also keep in mind that your reputation precedes you.
Yeah.
That's what you want, and so you want to make sure you're laying good tracks down, and that creates some accountability, and I think that's very important in this industry is to be accountable.
Yeah, yeah, and so folks, Ronnie is our lead training director here for Tidewater. Ronnie's out in the field every day, helping people, building a business. Ronnie brings such a unique perspective, and Ronnie's individual value proposition is so unique because he is out there helping people and selling products like GTL. He's wearing their shirt today. Props out to GTL and everything they're doing for the industry. Ronnie's out there solving obstacles for seniors. He writes ACA life insurance. He does some annuities. He does a lot of Medicare. And Ronnie does a phenomenal job of gathering our partners together, even our non-partners, and just training. Hey, here's what's working for me in the field, and here's what I want to educate you on today. Which is so cool that Ronnie has volunteered to do that because he doesn't have to, right? He doesn't have to do that. Ronnie could keep all of his secrets to himself if he wanted to, but he's like, I'm getting out here and I'm sharing it, which is super cool. So Ronnie, man, tell us your why you love doing face to face events. Tell us maybe about some upcoming stuff that you have coming up because I know you have some events coming up, but just give us the Ronnie story, man.
Well, I have been doing this a long time. And, in all the years that I've been in this industry, what I have found is that a lot of agents tend to get more whenever they're face to face. Now, I
Mm,
know that everybody learns differently, but I've also found that a lot of agents learn as much in face to face trainings from maybe the agent that are sitting with or sitting around as they do the speaker. So I think iron sharpens iron. I think it's good to be around other agents, and what I have found in the TMG family is that agents don't mind sharing the secret to their success because there's enough business for all of us. And, by paying it forward, you're just keeping everybody in the field sharp, which I've always said that at my meetings that I do, I want to give you real, raw stories. I'm not sitting in an ivory tower making up theories. I'm going to tell you what really works because time is very important to everyone. So I want to make sure that the time that I spend with you is time well spent for you. And, I've learned that, that giving it truthful and saying, here's where I've messed up. Because, the funny thing about the most successful people that I've met in this industry is that they hear no more than anyone else.
Yep.
They're the ones that don't quit, that push through, that, other people would give up, and they're saying, I'm going to give one more appointment. I'm going to make one more phone call. I'm going to go out one more hour, and so I really respect those folks. And I like taking those stories and being able to pass those on to the new generation. We're blessed at Tidewater in that we have agents anywhere in age from roughly 23, 24 up until close to 80 years of age, some of them that come and meet with me. I like working with new agents and young agents. It does my heart good to see those young people come in and really grasp what's going on and be able to pass something on to the next generation, so to speak. But we do have some upcoming trainings in North Carolina, and I would love to have agents come out. We kind of joke at Tidewater and say, if you come out to our meetings, at least we'll feed you well. If you don't get anything else, you're going to get a good meal, and I will continue to feed you well, because the fellowship that we have during the lunch part of it is really invaluable. And, life in general, not just insurance, but life in general is about relationships. So we're able to forge really good relationships through some of those conversations at lunch. But you can see the locations where we'll be meeting at. I'm going to be in Marion, North Carolina, which is in McDowell, or if you're from that area, McDowell County,
Right.
on May the 2nd. And then on the 3rd, I will be in Salisbury. And then on May the 4th, I'll be in Burlington. I titled this one ABCs, anything but Part C. We want to talk about things in this industry other than just Medicare Advantage. And that's not due to the fact that Medicare Advantage is not important, but it's due to the fact that it gets a lot of the limelight. And what we want to do is highlight some of the other areas where agents can and are having success, whether that be in hospital indemnity, final expense, life insurance. We want to make sure that we put agents in a position to where they can be multifaceted and be comfortable. And through the years, what I have found is that most agents that aren't presenting a product, it's not because they can't learn it, it's because they're not confident in presenting it. So we're also going to talk about some of the marketing changes that are coming up in Medicare for 2024. We're going to be talking about technology. And I somewhat tongue-in-cheek laugh about that, because technology has been something that up until recently I've had a little bit of a resistance to, and that's a shortcoming on my part. And looking back, quite honestly, a mistake. It's something that we're going to have to embrace if we're going to continue to be successful in this industry. And so if I can learn it, you can learn it. I always say that, whoever said you can't teach an old dog new tricks lies.
Yeah.
An old dog can learn a new trick if he or she's willing to learn the trick.
No
And
doubt.
so those are things that we're going to cover in the face-to-face trainings. Again, if you are partnering with Tidewater Management Group now, fantastic. If you're not, I would still like to invite you to come out and meet with us. I think that you'll find some camaraderie there. And you may find that we could be a good place for you if you're not currently working with someone that's taking good care of you. And, we're always looking for quality people to partner with us at Tidewater Management Group. It would be important. I know Mike put it up. It'd be important if you would to RSVP, not so that I can harass you, but so that I make sure that I have food. Because I'm going to have some meals catered in. And I've got some pretty nice caterers that's going to be bringing in to the Salisbury and Burlington location. And if you've never been to the Countryside Barbecue in Marion, you've missed out. They'll take very good care of us there, and we will eat very well there. And if nothing else, look forward to the banana pudding when you get there.
There you go. And folks, here, this is what the sign up link looks like. You can email me, Mike at tidewatermg.com. You can email Ronnie at tidewatermg.com. Be happy to send this link to you. Because like Ronnie said, he's got to get a head count so he has proper food. And I got to tell you, I'm going to pick on one of our broker partners real fast because I know he'll let me do it. But Ken Church up in Rockingham County. Ken has been a great partner of ours for years, phenomenal Medicare broker. But was very resilient to cross-selling in his appointments for quite a long time. He was not a firm believer in like what Ronnie's going to be talking about at these meetings. And finally, after attending one of Ronnie's meetings, Ken decided to give it a try. And I got to tell you, Ken, kudos to you, man. You're one of our top producing complimentary sales brokers now. So, if you're like, if you're thinking like how Ken was thinking and you're kind of on the fence or you don't understand it, that's why I'm encouraging you, go to Ronnie's meeting, because it's not just him talking about GTL or Medico or a dental plan. He's going to teach you how to do it, like how to actually make extra money in an appointment and minimize risks for your client, right? And that's what I love about Ronnie. I love Ronnie. For so long you talked about these products and you made it relatable and understandable to me, because you always said we're minimizing risk. And when you said that, I was like, that just makes sense. I get that, you know. So Ronnie, I do have a question for you.
Okay.
So early on, you said face-to-face meetings. You used to say belly to belly. Why the change?
I did. I did. And I've heard it belly to belly, knee to knee, face to
Mm.
face. And to give you the honest answer, my wife was like, Ronnie, it doesn't sound very good to tell a lady you want to sit belly to belly with her.
Oh,
So,
I like it.
I try to be respectful of that, and I never want to offend anyone intentionally. So I say eyeball to eyeball, just because it makes the wife happy. And I've learned that happy spouse equals happy house.
Yes.
So that's part of the game. And like I said, I've been blessed to work with my wife in this industry, and and it's good to have her viewpoint because every man has blind sides, and we have blind spots, and so it's nice to have that extra set of eyes and that extra viewpoint maybe that I miss. But I'm very complimentary of her, and she's been a big part of what I've become in my life. But
It's awesome.
this industry has been very good to her as well.
That's great. Now, Ronnie, will Pamela be at the meetings with you? I know sometimes she travels with you.
She does travel some, and I expect her to be at least two, and probably all three of those, because quite
That's great.
honestly, there's some agents that like her better than they do me.
Pamela's awesome, y'all. Look, she's great. Well, I'm gonna put it up on my screen one more time so everybody can see the dates. If you're kind of on the fence, if you're going to be available those days, clear your schedule. Like Ronnie said, he's going to feed you really well. He's going to provide a ton of value. And as you can see here, it's not a 14-hour event. It's you're going to be there for 2.5 hours. You're in and you're out, and Ronnie just wants to he wants to help you learn. So here are all the dates, the locations. Like I said, email me, Mike at tidewatermg.com. Email Ronnie at tidewatermg.com. We can shoot this over to you so he can get a head count and get you in there. Ronnie, any parting words before we leave about the event, or just anything in general that you want to leave for the audience?
Yeah, I was listening to actually, I was listening to a sermon on my way into the office, and I heard a guy say something that really stuck out to me because, it used to be that I would always put off things that I really didn't want to do, or things that seemed hard. And, everything's hard at first. But he said, just remember that today was yesterday's tomorrow,
Mhm.
which means don't delay. Let's get out ahead of things. We're going to share some things that I think will help get you out ahead so that you can prepare for your marketing and prepare for AEP 2024. But we're also going to talk about things that you can use right away, things that you can implement tomorrow in your business. And again, as Mike said, no pressure to do anything. It's about just coming together, because together we're all better.
Yep.
And so, Mike, I appreciate you having me today. It's an honor to be with you. You do a fantastic job, and I'm just proud to work alongside Mike, and have him be part of my family.
Oh, thanks, man. Likewise, brother. And hopefully I'll be able to come out too and see it, because I
Love
learned
to have
something
you.
from you, man. Well, Ronnie, thank you, man. If folks sign up, register so Ronnie can get that head count. Got to have enough barbecue and lemon pie and all that good stuff that's going to be out there.
That's
So,
right.
Ronnie, thanks for joining. Thanks for all the value you bring to the industry, man. You're a rock star.
Thanks. I wish everybody the best.
All right, y'all. Thanks.